The day I finally saved enough for my parents' dream vacation was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. Instead, it became the moment I realized just how invisible I truly was. I'm Phoebe, and I've spent the last 3 years working overtime and weekends, squirreling away every spare dollar I could manage. My parents had always talked about wanting to visit the Greek islands, especially Santorini. Those whitewashed buildings against the blue Mediterranean had been my mom's phone background for as long as I can remember. "You won't believe what I've done!" I burst into their house, clutching the envelope containing the vacation documents. My brother Rylan was there too, sprawled on the couch like he owned the place. Of course he was. He always seemed to be around for every important moment, whether invited or not. "What's got you so excited, sweetheart?" Mom asked, though her eyes kept darting to Rylan as he texted on his phone. I've been saving up for something special," I said, my heart racing. "Remember all those conversations about Greece?" Dad looked up from his newspaper. "Greece?" I pulled out the documents with trembling hands. 2 weeks in Santorini, five-star hotel, private balcony with a sunset view, wine tasting tours, everything you've ever dreamed about. Mom's eyes widened as she took the papers. "Oh my goodness," she whispered, flipping through them. "This must have cost a fortune." "It did," I admitted, "but you deserve it. You've both worked so hard all your lives, and I wanted to give you something special." That's when Rylan finally looked up from his phone. "Wow, sis. That's actually pretty cool of you." Coming from him, it felt like a backhanded compliment, but I pushed the feeling aside. This was my moment. "The thing is," Mom said slowly, exchanging glances with Dad, "we were just talking about Rylan and Serena's 5th anniversary coming up." My stomach dropped. I knew that tone. "They've been having such a rough time lately," Dad chimed in, "with the miscarriage and all." "What are you saying?" I asked, though I already knew. Mom reached across and patted my hand. "Wouldn't it be wonderful if we gave this trip to them instead? They really need something to look forward to right now." The room started spinning. 3 years of overtime shifts, missed social events, and penny pinching flashed before my eyes. "But," I struggled to find words. "I planned this for you. I saved up." "And that's so thoughtful of you, honey," Mom interrupted. "But Rylan and Serena could really use this right now. You understand, don't you?" I looked at Rylan, who was now sitting up straight, a familiar gleam in his eyes. The same look he had when we were kids, and my parents would give him my toys because he needed them more. "Seriously?" Serena's voice squealed from behind me. I hadn't even noticed her come in. "Oh my God, this is amazing!" She rushed past me to hug my mother, then my father. The vacation documents were already being passed to her eager hands. "We can't accept this," Rylan said, but his tone made it clear he absolutely could and would. "It's too much." "Nonsense," Dad waved him off. "You kids deserve it. Phoebe understands, don't you, sweetheart?" I stood there, frozen, as my carefully planned surprise was stripped away and handed to my brother like everything else in my life. The worst part wasn't even losing the vacation. It was the fact that none of them seemed to notice or care how much this hurt me. "Of course," I heard myself say, the words tasting like ash in my mouth. "Of course I understand." "You're the best sister ever." Serena hugged me tight, her expensive perfume choking me. "We'll send you lots of pictures." I watched as my family gathered around Rylan and Serena, oohing and aahing over the itinerary I'd spent months perfecting. Mom was already talking about helping Serena shop for new swimsuits, while Dad discussed the best times to book their flights. I slipped out without anyone noticing, just like I always did. But this time was different. This time, something inside me snapped. As I sat in my car, gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white, I made a decision. For once in my life, I wasn't going to just smile and take it. For once, someone was going to notice me, and if they wouldn't give me the respect I deserved, I would take it. I pulled out my phone and opened the airline's website. It was time to make some changes to that perfect vacation I'd planned. "They did what?" Alexis slammed her coffee mug down so hard that several nearby customers at the cafe turned to stare. Are you kidding me right now? I shook my head, fighting back tears that had been threatening to spill since yesterday. Just handed it over like it was nothing. 3 years of saving, Alex. 3 years. And they didn't even ask you first? Just decided on their own to give your brother and his wife your gift? Alexis's face was turning red with anger. The same brother who just bought a new BMW last month? Apparently their marriage needs a boost after… I lowered my voice. You know, the miscarriage. Oh, please! Alexis rolled her eyes. I know that's terrible, but it doesn't give them the right to take what's yours. Besides, didn't Serena post those party pictures like 2 weeks ago? They seemed fine to me. I stirred my untouched latte, watching the foam swirl. Mom called this morning to ask if I could help Serena shop for vacation clothes. The audacity! Alexis leaned forward. Please tell me you said no. I told her I had to work. I managed a weak smile. Which isn't exactly a lie, since I need to start saving again. Saving? Oh, hell no, you're not doing that again. Alexis pulled out her phone. Look at this. Your brother posted about it already. She showed me Ryland's Instagram post. A picture of the vacation documents spread out on a table, with the caption, Best anniversary surprise ever. Blessed, to Santorini. Best family ever. My hands started shaking. He didn't even mention me. Of course he didn't. Alexis took her phone back. You know what? You should cancel it. I nearly choked on my coffee. What? Cancel the whole thing. It's your reservation, your credit card, your name on everything. One phone call and poof, no more vacation. I can't do that, I protested. But even as I said it, something stirred inside me. Can I? Why not? They didn't think twice about taking it from you. Alexis leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. Think about it. They're all excited, planning and shopping, and then suddenly, nothing. Let them feel what it's like to have something taken away. My phone buzzed. Another message from Mom. Serena found the cutest sundress for Greece. You should come see it. I turned my phone face down on the table. They'd know it was me. Not if you do it right. Alexis's eyes sparkled with mischief. You're smart, Phoebe. You could figure out a way. It would destroy them, I said. But I was already thinking about how to do it. Like they destroyed you? Come on, tell me you haven't thought about it. I had. God help me, I'd thought about it all night. Remember your college graduation? Alexis pressed on. When they left early because Rylan had a football game? They missed my valedictorian speech, I whispered. And your art show last year? They stayed for 10 minutes because Rylan's in-laws were having a dinner party. And now this. Alexis reached across the table and grabbed my hand. When does it stop, Phoebe? When do you stop letting them treat you like you don't matter? My phone buzzed again. This time it was Rylan. Hey sis, can you send me the confirmation numbers for everything? Want to add some extras to the reservation. Something inside me hardened. You're right, I said, standing up. I need to make a phone call. Wait, really? Alexis's eyes widened. You're going to do it? I grabbed my purse, my hands steady for the first time since yesterday. The reservation's in my name, the payment's on my card. They can't do anything without my authorization. That's my girl! Alexis grinned. What are you going to tell them? Nothing. I felt a smile spreading across my face. They'll find out when they try to check in, just like I found out about them taking my gift, without warning. You know this is going to cause drama, right? I thought about all the times I'd swallowed my hurt, all the times I'd stepped aside for Rylan, all the years of being invisible. Maybe it's time for some drama, I said, pulling out my phone. Maybe it's time they realized I'm not just their backup daughter anymore. As I walked out of the cafe, I could feel Alexis watching me with a mixture of pride and concern. My fingers were already dialing the airline's customer service number. Hello, I said when someone answered. I need to make some changes to a reservation. For the first time in my life, I wasn't going to be the good sister who sacrificed everything for everyone else. This time, I was going to be the sister who fought back. Thank you for calling Paradise Travel. This is Destiny. How may I assist you today? I gripped my phone tighter, pacing around my apartment. Hi, I need to cancel a reservation for Santorini. Of course, I can help you with that. May I have the booking reference number? I rattled off the number, my heart pounding. This was it, no turning back. Though, I see the reservation, Destiny said. 2 weeks in Santorini, departing next month. Before we proceed, may I ask why you're canceling? We might be able to offer alternatives. The trip was compromised, I said carefully. I'd rather just cancel it completely. I understand. There was something in Destiny's voice, a hint of sympathy that made me wonder if she really did understand. Since you purchased our premium package with cancellation insurance, you'll receive a full refund. However, I should mention that once canceled, this specific package and pricing won't be available again due to seasonal changes. Perfect. Even if they tried to rebook, it would cost them significantly more. That's fine, I said. I just need it canceled. One moment while I process that for you. The sound of typing filled the pause. Ms. Franklin, I noticed there were some recent attempts to modify this booking. Would you like me to disregard those? My brother's extras, no doubt. Yes, please. More typing. All right, I've processed the cancellation. You should receive a confirmation email shortly, and the refund will appear on your card within 5 to 7 business days. Is there anything else I can help you with? Actually, yes. I took a deep breath. If anyone calls about this reservation, you can't discuss it with them, right? Since it's in my name? That's correct. Due to privacy policies, we can only discuss booking details with the person who made the reservation. Good. Thank you, Destiny. You've been very helpful. I hung up and immediately checked my email. There it was. The cancellation confirmation. I forwarded it to a new email account I'd created just for this purpose, then deleted it from my regular inbox. My phone buzzed with a text from Rylan. Hey, tried calling the travel agency, but they won't talk to me. What's up with that? I smiled as I typed back. Weird. Maybe try calling during business hours tomorrow? Another text came in, this time from Mom. Darling, Serena's trying to add a sunset cruise to the itinerary, but having trouble. Can you help? Sorry, in a meeting. We'll check later, I replied. I opened my laptop and logged into the new email account. Time for phase 2. I drafted a message. Dear Mr. and Mrs. Franklin, we regret to inform you that your upcoming reservation has been canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. Please do not attempt to contact our agency as this decision is final. Best regards, Paradise Travel Customer Service. I set it to send automatically 3 days before their departure date. Just long enough to maximize the chaos, just late enough that booking an alternative would be nearly impossible. My phone rang. Alexis. Did you do it? She asked without preamble. It's done. I sat down on my couch, suddenly exhausted. The reservation is canceled, and I've set up an anonymous email to let them know, eventually. How do you feel? I considered the question. Powerful, scared, excited, guilty. All of the above? The guilt will pass, Alexis assured me. Remember how they didn't feel guilty taking it from you? True. I watched the sunset through my window, thinking about the Santorini sunset they wouldn't be seeing. They're already having trouble with the booking. Keeps asking me to help. And you're going to... Play dumb. Tell them I'm busy. Let them figure it out themselves. That's my girl. Alexis paused. You know, you could take that refund and book yourself a nice trip somewhere. I laughed. Maybe I will. Somewhere they'd never think to go. Now you're talking. Speaking of talking, your mom just posted about helping Serena pack. Want to see? Not really, I said, but I was already opening Instagram. There they were, Mom and Serena, surrounded by expensive luggage and summer dresses, huge smiles on their faces. The caption read, Getting my beautiful daughter-in-law ready for her dream vacation. Blessed to your family first. I closed the app, a cold satisfaction settling over me. Let them plan. Let them pack. Let them get excited. In 3 days, they'd learn what it felt like to have something precious taken away without warning or consideration. I picked up my phone and started researching flights to Japan. Maybe it was time for my own dream vacation, one that no one could take away from me. Look what just arrived, Serena squealed, holding up a wide-brimmed sun hat at our mandatory weekly family dinner. It's perfect for those Santorini sunsets, don't you think? I stabbed at my meatloaf, forcing a smile. Beautiful. And check out these sandals, she continued, pulling a box from her oversized designer bag. They're handmade in Italy. Rylan surprised me with them yesterday. Mom beamed at my brother. You're so thoughtful, honey. I took a long sip of wine, remembering the cancellation confirmation sitting in my secret email account. 3 more days until the automated message would go out. Speaking of thoughtful, Rylan said, Phoebe, we still can't add anything to the booking. Keep getting shut down by customer service. What's up with that? All eyes turned to me. I carefully set down my wine glass. Oh, right. Sorry, I've been swamped at work. I'll look into it tomorrow. Tomorrow might be too late, Serena pouted. We really want to book that sunset cruise before it fills up. I'm sure it'll be fine, I said, serving myself more green beans. Everything will work out exactly as it should. Dad cleared his throat. You know, Princess, you seem a bit distant about all this. Are you sure you're okay with us giving the trip to your brother? For a moment, I almost told them everything. Almost. Of course I am, I lied smoothly. Why wouldn't I be? See? Mom patted Dad's hand. I told you she understands. Our Phoebe always puts family first. Rylan raised his glass. To the best sister anyone could ask for. Everyone clinked glasses while I fought the urge to throw mine across the room. Instead, I pulled out my phone under the table and logged into my anonymous email. Has everyone seen the weather forecast for Santorini? I asked innocently, typing as I spoke. It's supposed to be perfect next week. Oh, thank goodness, Serena sighed. I was worried about that. I hit send on the email. Dear valued customer, this is a courtesy notice that there may be issues with your upcoming travel arrangements. Please verify your booking status immediately. Rylan's phone buzzed. He pulled it out, frowning at the screen. That's weird. What is it? Serena leaned over his shoulder. Some random email about our booking. He showed it to Mom. Probably just spam. Better safe than sorry, I suggested. Maybe you should call the agency again. They won't talk to anyone but you, he reminded me. Come on, sis. Can't you just handle it? I shrugged. I'll try to find time tomorrow. You know, Mom said, you could give them your login details. Make it easier for everyone. Oh, I don't think that's a good idea, I said quickly. Security concerns and all that. Serena pulled out her phone, scrolling through pictures. Look at this villa I found on Instagram. We have to visit it while we're there. As they all huddled around her phone, oohing and aahing over Mediterranean views, I sent another anonymous email. Warning, your travel booking may have been compromised. Immediate attention required. Rylan's phone buzzed again. This time, he looked worried. Okay, this is getting weird. Phoebe, seriously, can you please check the reservation tonight? My internet's been down, I said, waiting for the company to fix it. Use your phone, Serena suggested. Battery's almost dead. I held up my phone, showing the 89% battery level carefully hidden by my hand. And I forgot my charger. You can use mine, Mom started. Oh, I interrupted, looking at my phone. Would you look at that time? I have an early meeting tomorrow. Should really get going. I stood up, gathering my things while they protested. But we haven't had dessert, Mom said. I made your favorite chocolate cake. Rain check? I kissed her cheek. Save me a piece. As I headed for the door, Rylan called out, Don't forget to check the reservation first thing tomorrow? First thing, I promised, knowing I'd have a million excuses ready. In my car, I sent one final email. Urgent. Please contact your travel agent immediately regarding booking status. My phone lit up with a text from Rylan. Seriously freaking out about these emails. Call me when you get home. I typed back. Phone dying for real now. Talk tomorrow. Turning off my phone, I drove home with a smile on my face. 2 more days of watching them squirm, watching their excitement slowly turn to anxiety. Then the final blow would come. Maybe it was cruel. Maybe it made me a terrible person. But as I remembered Serena's smug face showing off her new hat, Mom's constant doting on Rylan, and Dad's blind acceptance of it all, I couldn't bring myself to feel bad. Sometimes karma needed a little help, and I was more than happy to assist. My phone exploded with notifications at exactly 9:47 a.m. The automated email had gone out right on schedule. First came Rylan's call, then Mom's, then Serena's, then Dad's, then a flood of texts, each more frantic than the last. I let them all go to voicemail, watching the notifications pile up with a strange sense of calm. What do you mean, canceled? Rylan's text screamed. Phoebe, please call immediately. Emergency! From Mom. This has to be a mistake. Call us now. Dad. I waited exactly 30 minutes before calling Mom back. Phoebe, she answered on the first ring. Thank God. The trip, they're saying. Mom, slow down. What's wrong? The vacation. It's been canceled. We just got an email saying everything's canceled. Her voice cracked. Rylan and Serena are supposed to leave tomorrow? I gasped, making sure my shock sounded genuine. What? That can't be right. Let me check. We've been trying to call the agency, but they won't talk to us. They keep saying they can only discuss it with the booking holder. I'll call them right now, I promised. Let me sort this out. I hung up and waited 15 minutes before calling back. I can't get through, I lied. Their lines are busy. I'll keep trying. The doorbell rang. I opened it to find Rylan and Serena standing there, both still in their pajamas. Did you reach anyone? Serena's eyes were red from crying. Please tell me you fixed it. I stepped aside to let them in. I'm trying, but… Trying isn't good enough, Rylan snapped. We're supposed to leave tomorrow. All our plans, the time off work, everything. I understand, but… Do you? He advanced on me. Do you understand that this was supposed to be our special trip? After everything we've been through? The front door opened again, Mom and Dad rushing in. Any news? Dad demanded. I shook my head. The lines are still… Oh, for heaven's sake! Mom grabbed my phone. What's the number? I'll try from your phone since you're the booking holder. Mom, wait! She was already dialing. We all watched as she put it on speaker. Thank you for calling Paradise Travel. This is Destiny. How may I assist you? My stomach dropped. The same agent from before. Yes, hello, Mom said. I'm calling about a canceled reservation for Santorini. I'll need the booking reference number and the name of the booking holder. Mom looked at me expectantly. I rattled off the numbers. The booking holder is Phoebe Franklin, Mom added. I'm sorry, Destiny said, but I can only discuss booking details with Ms. Franklin directly. I'm her mother. Nevertheless. Fine. Mom thrust the phone at me. Tell her who you are. I took the phone, my hands shaking. This is Phoebe Franklin. Hello, Ms. Franklin. Yes, I see the reservation was canceled 3 days ago at your request. As discussed during our call, the refund should be processed. What? Rylan roared. I dropped the phone. 3 days ago? Serena whispered. You canceled it? The room went deadly quiet. Phoebe! Dad's voice was dangerously low. What did you do? I straightened my spine. The same thing you did to me. I took something away without asking. Are you insane? Rylan grabbed my shoulders. Do you know how much we've spent on preparations? The time off work? The new clothes? Do you know how much I spent on the actual trip? I shot back, shrugging off his hands. 3 years of savings, 3 years of my life, and you all took it without even asking me. We thought you were okay with it, Mom cried. When did you ask? When did any of you actually ask how I felt? This is crazy, Serena sobbed. We can't just book another trip last minute. Funny, I said. That's exactly how I felt when you took mine. You selfish little… Rylan started toward me again, but Dad held him back. "Fix this," Mom demanded. "Call them back right now and fix this." I picked up my phone from where I'd dropped it. No. No? No? For once in my life, I'm not fixing things to make everyone else happy. For once, you all get to feel what it's like to have something taken away without your consent. "I can't believe you're my sister," Rylan spat. "My own sister did this to us." I looked him straight in the eye. "Believe it. And remember this feeling the next time you think about taking something that belongs to someone else." They all started talking at once, yelling, crying, demanding. But for the first time in my life, their voices couldn't touch me. I walked to my front door and held it open. "I think you should all leave now." "This isn't over," Rylan warned as they filed out. "You're right," I agreed. "It's just beginning." "You should see my phone," I told Alexis, as we sat in her backyard, a bottle of wine between us. 47 missed calls, 93 text messages, and those are just from today. "Have you read any of them?" I scrolled through my phone. "Let's see. How could you do this to your own family?" That's from Mom. "You're dead to me." That's Rylan. Oh, and my personal favorite from Serena. "I hope you're happy now that you've ruined everything." "Ruined everything?" Alexis snorted. "They ruined your gift first." My phone buzzed again. Dad this time. I declined the call. "They're all at my parents' house right now," I said. "Probably plotting their revenge." "What could they possibly do? You didn't do anything illegal. The trip was in your name, paid for with your money." I poured more wine. "Rylan's already trying to turn the extended family against me. My cousin called earlier to tell me how disappointed she is in my childish behavior." "Childish?" Alexis sat up straighter. "You know what's childish? A grown man letting his parents take his sister's gift without even offering to pay for it." My phone lit up with a text from Mom. "We need to talk. Your father and I are very disappointed in you." "They're disappointed in me?" I laughed bitterly. "That's rich. Where was their disappointment when they took my gift without asking?" "You should tell them that." "I did. They're not listening. They keep saying I agreed to give them the trip." "Did you, though?" Alexis raised an eyebrow. "Actually agree?" I thought back to that day. They didn't really give me a choice. They just decided, like they always do. "Then maybe it's time to show them the proof." I looked at her. "What do you mean?" "The messages, the emails. Show them how they steamrolled over you. Make them see what they did." My phone buzzed again. A group text from Mom. "Family meeting, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Be there." "They want to have a family meeting," I told Alexis. "Ah, perfect." She grinned. "That's your chance. Bring receipts. Show them everything." "I don't know." "Phoebe." Alexis grabbed my hands. "Listen to me. They're angry because for the first time in your life, you stood up to them. They're used to you being the good daughter who takes whatever they dish out. This is your chance to show them why you did what you did." My phone chimed with another message. This time from Rylan. "Hope you're proud of yourself. Serena's been crying all day. Look at this." I showed Alexis the message. "He's trying to guilt trip me." "Of course he is. That's what they do. But you have something they don't." "What's that?" "The truth." She squeezed my hands. "You have proof of everything. The savings statements showing how long you saved. The original booking emails. The way they just took it without asking. Show them." I stared at my phone. At the dozens of angry messages. "You really think it'll make a difference? Maybe, maybe not. But at least they'll know exactly why you did it. No more playing the victim. No more pretending they didn't do anything wrong." Another text from Mom. "Will you be at the meeting tomorrow?" I took a deep breath and typed, "Yes, and I'm bringing evidence of exactly why this happened." The response was immediate. "Evidence? What evidence?" "You'll see tomorrow," I replied, then turned off my phone. "There's my girl!" Alexis cheered. "Now let's prepare. We need to get everything organized." We spent the next few hours gathering everything. Bank statements showing my savings pattern over 3 years. screenshots of their social media posts taking credit for the trip, the original emails about the booking, and most damning of all, their messages assuming I'd just handed over. "This is good," Alexis said, reviewing everything. "They can't argue with this." "They'll try," I said, but I felt stronger now, more certain. "Let them try. The truth is right here in black and white." My hand hovered over my turned-off phone. "They're probably still messaging me." "Let them. Tomorrow they'll understand exactly what they did. And if they don't," Alexis shrugged, "at least you'll know you stood up for yourself." I looked at the stack of evidence we'd collected. You know what? For the first time, I actually feel good about what I did. "You should. You're not their doormat anymore." I raised my wine glass. "To standing up for myself." "To karma." Alexis clinked her glass against mine. "And to finally showing your family who you really are." Tomorrow would be hard. There would be tears, accusations, guilt trips. But for once, I was ready for them. For once, I had proof of exactly why I'd done what I'd done, and this time, they were going to listen. I walked into my parents' house exactly at 6 p.m., folder of evidence clutched to my chest like armor. They were all already there, sitting around the dining room table like a jury ready to deliver a verdict. "Sit down, Phoebe," Dad said, pointing to the empty chair facing everyone. I remained standing. "Before we start, I have something to show you all." "We don't need to see anything," Rylan interrupted. "We need you to fix this. Actually, you do need to see this." I opened the folder and pulled out the first document. "This is my bank statement from 3 years ago, when I started saving for the trip." Mom tried to speak, but I held up my hand. "No. You've all had your say. Now it's my turn." I laid out more papers. Every month, I put aside money, worked overtime, skipped vacations, all to give you and Dad your dream trip. "We know all this," Serena said impatiently. "Do you? Do you know I was working 60-hour weeks while you were posting pictures from your spa weekends?" I slid her Instagram posts across the table. "Or that I canceled my own vacation plans last year to save more money while Reelene was buying his new BMW?" Reelene shifted uncomfortably. "That's not relevant." "It is relevant." I slammed my hand on the table. "Because when I finally had enough saved, when I finally planned the perfect trip, you all took it without even asking me." "We didn't take it," Mom protested. "You agreed." I pulled out my phone and played the recording from that day. Their voices filled the room. "Wouldn't it be wonderful if we gave this trip to them instead?" "You understand, don't you?" Of course she understands. Where in that conversation did anyone ask what I wanted? I stopped the recording. Where did anyone consider my feelings? The room fell silent. "And then," I continued, pulling out more papers, "you all acted like it was your gift to give. Look at these posts, taking credit, not even mentioning me, acting like I didn't exist." Dad cleared his throat. "Sweetheart, we appreciate all your hard work, but..." "But what? But Rylan needed it more? He always needs it more." My voice cracked. "My whole life, everything I've done, everything I've achieved, it's always been overshadowed by what Rylan needs." "That's not true," Mom said weakly. "Really?" I pulled out more evidence. "My college graduation. You left early for his football game. My art show. You stayed 10 minutes because his in-laws were having dinner. Every single time he comes first." Rylan stood up. "This is ridiculous. You're acting like a child." "No!" I matched his stance. "I'm finally acting like someone who's had enough. You want to know why I canceled the trip? Because for once in my life, I wanted you all to know how it feels to have something taken away without your consent." "But the money," Serena started. "The money," I laughed. "Now you care about the money? Where was this concern when you took my gift? Did any of you offer to reimburse me?" They exchanged guilty looks. "That's what I thought." I gathered my evidence back into the folder. "You know what the worst part is? None of you even apologized. You just expected me to smile and take it, like always." "So what do you want?" Rylan demanded. "An apology? Fine, I'm sorry. Now can you rebook the trip?" "No." I shook my head. "The refund's already been processed. to my account. And you know what? I'm going to use it to take myself somewhere nice, somewhere I've always wanted to go. You can't do this to us, Mom pleaded. I already did, and maybe next time you'll think twice before taking something that doesn't belong to you. This isn't over, Rylan threatened. Actually, it is. I headed for the door. Oh, and by the way, I've shared all this evidence with the entire family, so they can see exactly why I did what I did. You didn't, Serena gasped. Check your phones. I smiled as they all scrambled for their devices. I sent it right before I came here. No more playing the victims. No more making me look like the bad guy. The room erupted in chaos. Phones buzzing with family reactions. Mom starting to cry. Dad trying to maintain order. Rylan cursing. But for the first time in my life, I felt completely calm. I opened the front door, pausing for one last look at my family. I hope you all learned something from this, I said. I know I did. I learned that I'm done being your backup daughter. I'm done being taken for granted. And most importantly, I'm done letting you treat me like I don't matter. I walked out, closing the door on their protests. My phone was already lighting up with messages from extended family, some supportive, some angry, all of them finally seeing the truth. For the first time in my life, I'd shown them exactly who I was. And it felt absolutely liberating. The doorbell rang as I was packing my suitcase for Japan. I opened it to find Mom standing there alone, looking smaller than I'd ever seen her. Can I come in? She asked quietly. I stepped aside, noticing the absence of her usual confident stride as she entered. You're packing, she observed, glancing at my open suitcase. Japan, solo trip. I folded another shirt. Leaving tomorrow. She picked up a travel guide from my coffee table. I didn't know you were interested in Japan. There's a lot you don't know about me, Mom. She set the book down, her hands trembling slightly. I know, that's why I'm here. I stopped packing and looked at her. Your Aunt Martha called me yesterday, she continued, after reading everything you sent to the family. She said something that kept me up all night. What's that? She asked me, when was the last time I attended one of your achievements without leaving early for something of Rylan's? Mom's voice cracked. I couldn't remember. I sat down on my couch, and she joined me. Then I started thinking about all the times you were there for us, she said. Every birthday, every anniversary, every holiday. Always with thoughtful gifts, always helping, always invisible. Mom, no, let me finish. She pulled out her phone. I went through my photos last night. Hundreds of pictures of Rylan's games, Serena's parties, family gatherings. But you're hardly in any of them, usually just in the background, smiling that same patient smile. Tears started rolling down her cheeks. The vacation. When you gave it to us, I saw that smile again. I should have known. I should have seen what we were doing to you. But you didn't, I said softly. No, I didn't. None of us did. She reached for my hand. Rylan's still angry about the trip. Your father thinks you went too far. But Martha was right. We went too far first. We just didn't realize it because you never fought back before. I shouldn't have had to fight back. No, you shouldn't have. She squeezed my hand. I'm sorry, Phoebe. Not just for the vacation, but for everything. For every time we put Rylan first. For every time we took you for granted. For every time we made you feel less important. The apology I'd wanted for so long hung in the air between us. What happens now? I asked. That's up to you. But I'd like to start over. Really see you this time. She glanced at my suitcase. Maybe you could tell me about why you chose Japan? Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. A text from Dad. Your mother's right. We need to do better. Have a wonderful trip, sweetheart. Take lots of pictures for us. Then another from Aunt Martha. Proud of you, girl. Sometimes family needs a wake-up call. And surprisingly, one from Serena. I was wrong. We all were. I'm sorry. Nothing from Rylan, but I hadn't expected there to be. Not yet. I'd like to hear about Japan, too. Mom said, noticing me reading the messages. And maybe when you get back, we could plan something together? Just us? I studied her face. The hope there, the genuine remorse, the desire to change. I'd like that, I said finally. But Mom, it has to be different this time. Really different. It will be. She stood up, walking to my suitcase. Now, tell me about your trip while you pack. I want to know everything you're planning to see. As I told her about the temples I wanted to visit, the food I wanted to try, the places I wanted to explore, I saw something I'd never seen before. My mother really listening, really seeing me. My phone buzzed again. This time from Rylan. I'm still mad, but I get it. Have a good trip, sis. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't a fairy tale ending where everyone suddenly became the perfect family. But it was real. It was a start. I showed Mom the beautiful ryokan I'd booked in Kyoto, and she gasped at the photos of the traditional Japanese inn. This is amazing, she said. You're going to have such an adventure. Yeah, I smiled, feeling lighter than I had in years. I am. Sometimes it takes breaking something to fix it properly. Sometimes you have to shatter the old patterns to create new ones. And sometimes, standing up for yourself isn't just about winning or losing. It's about being seen, really seen, for the first time. I packed the last item in my suitcase, a new camera to document my journey. This time, I wouldn't be in the background of the photos. This time, I'd be the star of my own story.